Bihira ka lang makita ng isang cellphone na kasing lupit nito, kasing bilis nito, kasing ganda ng camera nito, kasing lakas ng flash nito. Woo! Wow. Huh? It looks like handa na pong level ni Vivo ang competition with the Vivo V30 Pro. Nang nag-reach out si Vivo sa akin, sabi ko sa nila, bihira lang po ako nagre-review ng mga phone nyo. Meron kasi alam nila na medyo critical ako sa mga phones nila. Kailangan maganda yung specs, maganda yung presyo, at maganda yung in-offer ng phone niya. Pero nung nakita ko si Vivo V30 Pro Series, oh my god. For the first time ever, si Vivo V Series ay magkakaroon ng Zeiss optics? Actually, I've tried everything. The pictures, the performance, oh my god. Humanda kayo. This phone is unreal. Finally, sulit na po. Chipset ay Dimensity 8200 processor. Almost 1 million points and to benchmark. It's got 12 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of internal storage, 5,000 mAh of battery, 80 watts fast charging. Yung display, 3D curved display, 120Hz refresh rate, 2,800 nits of peak brightness, my friends. But to top it all off, what makes this unique is its cameras. Triple camera setup at the back, 50 megapixel na. May Zeiss optics na. Not only the optics, but also the algorithm. They also have the Aura Portrait Light 3.0 na mas malaki na, mas usable, mas wide yung kanyang range. Ito na naman sabi ko, kabahan na ang lahat. Dahil ito ang wawasak sa lahat. Let us unbox this phone. Ako si Vince and you're watching Unbox Diaries. Woohoo! Okay, so ito na po. Let us quick unbox this thing. Una-unang box is mas social na. Co-engineer with Zeiss. Let's open it up. Ito ba yung phone? Inside, we're getting the papers, the jelly case, the cable, the charger. Wait, ibalik yung charger. 80 watts pala to. And lastly, the V-shaped SIM ejector pin. And that's pretty much it. So ito na ba yung design? The design of the phone looks like this. Now the back is made out of glass. It has this nice petal pattern at the back. Mabulaklak po yung dating niya. They're calling this the petals white. Meron siya parang 3D depth pattern ng mga petals dito sa likod. Mga swirly. Yun nga lang, gusto ko ng color black. Give us color black please. Para sa mga macho na katulad ko. Kasi what if may kaibigan ka na lalaki na gustong bumili nito? Para ito yung bagong phone ko. Patay nga, yung ganda. Mga petals. Pahaw ka ng petals mo bro. Ay wag dyan dito sa part na to. Ito may petals din oh. Okay. Oh! What? Ni-rub lang yung petals. Umilaw na. De joke lang, may inon ako dito. Tapos guys, hindi siya amoy petals. Matte finish yung likod. Since the color of the back is bright and matte finish, wala pong fingerprint sa likod. So malinis na malinis po siya. Even without a casing, parang ang sarap na gamitin without a casing. And look at the camera module at the back. Hindi pa siya katulad ng ibang camera phones na bilog na sobrang laki sa likod na sobrang sinakop na niya. And look at the back, hindi po siya sobrang sinasakop yung likod. Hindi katulad ng mga ibang camera smartphones. Kasi ang problema sa mga ganung design, kapag naglalaro ka ng landscape, laging tinatamaan yung camera. But this one, inisip talaga nila na baka mag-gaming ka sa mga phone mo. So they made it gamer-friendly din. Pero Beans, bakit ganyan yung itsura ng camera setup sa likod? May isa bang square sa ilalim na pwede naman sa taas lang? Wait, naalala nyo yung parang malaking bilog na ilaw sa likod Vivo V29 last year? Well, this year, square na po siya na ganyan kalaki, ganyan ka liwanag. Na for me, ito po yung mas usable na lighting. Ang problema sa maliit na sobrang bright na bilog last year is sobrang intense na light niya, tapos maliit lang yung coverage niya. So sobrang harsh po niya sa itsura ng isang tao, which resembles one of those vanity cabinet light na ginagamit mga beauty vloggers. This will give you a much softer, even lighting sa mga portrait shots nyo. Now the body of the phone is very light and compact. Very slim din po siya. 7.45mm slim body plus cushioning structure, 3D curved screen display po yan. This phone is both luxurious and sexy at the same time. Well, mas magaan pa siya sa iPhone 15 Pro, yung mas maliit. Nasa 188 grams lang daw to. Now in terms of the buttons and ports, single down-firing speaker lang po daw siya. Wala na po siyang headphone jack. At naka-dual nano SIM card slot po siya. Wala na po siyang micro SD card slot for expandability, pero 512 gigs naman siya of internal storage. Now for me, one of the biggest strengths of this phone is its display. Not only is it 3D curved, pero grabe yung brightness. 2,800 nits po yung brightness niya. May HDR10 and 10 plus na po siya. It's got 1 billion colors, 300 Hz touch sampling rate, 120 Hz refresh rate. The bezel, sobrang nipis, sobrang sagad. Yung nga lang, medyo malaki yung punch hole. Can be remedied by a dark wallpaper. Yes! Bro, oh my god. Ganito. Now that is brightness. Now finally, we've checked it out. No? Ang pinaka-problema ng most smartphones, lalo kapag maganda yung camera, is yung ability to see under direct sunlight. Kasi paano ka makakuha ng magandang composition, magandang angulo kung di mo makita yung pinipicturan mo? Sobrang dim. Malinaw na malinaw po siya sa labas. Very useful. Ito po yung dapat na nilalagay na feature. A far more usable viewfinder, if you ask me. Finally, mas magiging okay na experience mo sa labas when taking those lovely portrait shots, outdoor shots, thanks to its much brighter display. Naka 1.5K resolution na daw siya. And AMOLED na rin daw to. Now, syempre in terms of watching movies, playing games, it is just as exceptional. Dahil nga matindi yung display, matindi yung visuals niya. Whether it be watching movies on YouTube, Netflix, the content is gonna be much more better exposed. Yun nga lang, no? Mas maganda sana kung dual speaker siya para mas immersive yung dating. Pero yeah. Ang pros naman niya is medyo loud yung kanyang speaker, up to 150% boosting daw siya ng volume. Playing games is pretty nice. Very immersive, but syempre, 3D curve siya, so mag-ingat pa tayo sa mga gilid-gilid niya. I highly suggest kung meron kayong i-access dun sa kanyang mga gilid-gilid, i-reassign mo yung mga buttons sa some other place. Now, since ano na sa mga games, what is the performance? Now, all I can say is, kung chipset na naman, they did it. Watched every reviewer checking out this phone. Pare-pares ng lahat. This phone not only looks, but also feels like a true flagship device. Whether it be opening apps, scrolling, this thing is just very zippy. Feels so smooth kahit pag-open ng mga pages, pag-open ng part nito sa home screen. There's usually a lag if you do this, but not here. Tingnan mo, ang smooth tingnan. Wow. And it even has a drawer. Tapos kung kulang ka sa space sa ilalim, meron pa siya shortcut dito. May floating shortcut sa side that you can just press, boom. Lalabas po siya, may floating window po dito which will let you multitask. For example, nasa Shopee ako. Yan, nasa Shopee tayo ngayon. Marami akong binili. Siyempre, lalabas ko yung calculator dito. Multitasking. At nakita niyo ba yan? Hindi po siya bumabagal. Wow. The Antutu benchmark of this phone is 977,000 points Antutu benchmark. This phone can truly play games. Now, we were surprised na nakita namin sa Mobile Legends. Ito so meron siyang 3D curve display. And ang usually sakit na ng mga 3D curve display is yung kanilang ghost touch dun sa kanilang gilid. But no, when we were pressing the shop, always nagre-register siya. Wow. Meaning, okay na okay siya as a gaming device. We also noticed na sobrang responsive ng combos. Multi-touch is just a cinch for this phone. Right now, di ba super optimized si Mobile Legends for this phone? Super and ultra lang po siya dito. And we felt na sobrang overkill na kanyang performance for Mobile Legends, and you will definitely enjoy playing that game here if you're gonna use it also for gaming. Call of Duty naman, sobrang responsive na kanyang gyroscope. Together with the touch controls right here, very responsive. And guess what? It even has kumpletong settings dito. Ultra? Oh my god, naka-ultra na siya. Pero magla-low graphic siya if you do that. Pero guys, sobrang laking advantage nito. Madaya sa kung madaya. Ang ibig sabihin nito, mas marami kang chance na makakill or makailag. Kasi nga, makakasabay na yung galawan ng display sa inyong reflex ng kamay. Pero kung ayaw ng sobrang super refresh rate, gusto talaga ng graphics, meron siyang very high graphics and max settings naman dito kung gusto mo na ng casual gaming. Sa Genshin Impact naman, naka-max settings po lahat. Pero it's not always 60 frames per second. Siguro mga nasa 40-50 kapag ka naka-high settings. If you really want that 60 FPS consistent, mag-medium graphics ka dito. This also let us play very comfortably for long periods of time. Kahit marami na nangyayari sa screen, basta naka-medium po siya. All throughout po, hindi po uminit, you will definitely enjoy playing Genshin Impact. So, design check, display check, and performance check. Pero check rin ba ang kanyang camera? Now, this phone has 3 cameras at the back. 50 megapixel po silang lahat. The main camera is the Sony IMX920 OIS camera na may VCS technology, which means it can actually replicate yung almost true to life, close to the eye image quality. No, kung ano yung nakita ng mata natin, almost ganun na daw siya in terms of color and in terms of image quality. Wala pa siyang telephoto camera, but it has a portrait camera, 50 megapixel Sony IMX816 sensor, at meron din siya 50 megapixel ultra-wide angle lens. Selfie camera din is 50 megapixel. Not sure kung Zeiss Optics din yung kanyang selfie camera, but the rear camera is for sure Zeiss Optics. Nakalagay pa dito Zeiss Oh, sorry Vivo. Meron pala siya kasamang Aura Light Portrait 3.0. Kasama po yan. Now, personally, amongst all of the other phones that I've reviewed before, Realme, Oppo, yung kanilang high-end mid-range phones are pretty okay. May mga telephoto lens, but nothing like this phone. Hindi kasing okay ng portrait camera nito. Oh, by the way, the portrait camera is a 50mm lens, which means up to 2x ang talaga yung kanyang optical zooming. Digital zoom na po, anything after that. Pero ganito siya gamitin, no? In combination with the Aura Light portrait at the back, kapag low light, ganito pa yung gagawin nyo. Now, it's very smart of Vivo to only put a 2x zoom right here, kasi nga, anything longer, baka hindi na kayang abutin nung light sa likod. Kaya madalas guys, kapag nagpipicture ka ng portrait dito, kailangan medyo malapit sa subject nyo. And with this kind of light, mas soft na at mas even out na ang skin tones when you're taking photos of your subject. Ito yung mga samples namin. Now this year, parang sobrang nauso na yung mga portrait camera. Kapag sinabing portrait, ganito yung kanilang composition. Usually, mga close-up po yung mga portrait shot, guys. Wala masyadong nakikita sa background. It's mostly you and siguro may background blur sa likod. Ganun madalas yung portrait photos. Parang mas close siya, mas intimate yung dating when you look at it. Compared kapag naka 1x lang, parang medyo wide talaga. Yung 1x madalas ginagamit, guys, kapag if you want to be seen in a place. Kunwari, nagbabakasyon ka. Oh, meron akong building sa likod ko. Oh, I'm with a group of people. 1x. Kapag kulang pa sa space, 0.6x. Pero kung gusto mo mas intimate, mas gusto mo mag-connect dun sa subject, mas malakas pa yung dating ng subject, use the portrait lens. I-2x mo yan, ganito yung pintura nun. Tapos turn on the background blur and take the photo and bam! Professional looking photo. Diba? Para mas professional siya. Ito yung pinapauso ng mga DSLR shot, guys. Yung sa mga studio. Diba napansin nyo, puro portrait shot yung mga studio, hindi siya wide. Puro portrait po yan. Now, ang pinaka-advantage talaga dito ni Vivo is yung kanyang color. Meron po siyang Zeiss Natural Color dito, no? By default, sa gitna, vivid po. Pwede rin textured kung gusto niyang mas detailed. At meron po siyang Zeiss Natural dito. With the Zeiss Natural, it looks very close to the real thing. Kung ano po yung nakikita ng mga mata natin, it will go for that. Kaya lang, Vince, bakit hindi siya naka-default? Kasi alam nyo naman mga tao, they want things to be nagpa-pop, medyo mas maganda yung color, mas mataas ang exposure, mas vibrant na konti. Kasi nga, in real life, guys, hindi naman ganun kaganda talaga, ka-vibrant, itsura ng mga bagay. That's why on most smartphones, mas pinapatingkad yung kulay, tinataasan yung contrast, mas nagba-bright. Kasi nga halos lahat ng tao gusto social media pictures. Pero kasi meron mga tao katulad ko na gusto accurate talaga. Pang-professional yung dating. Pang-kliyente, yun, diba?
Okay.
Meron siyang 2x, 4x zoom dito, 0.6x. Pero yung 4x is digital zoom na po. Up to 20x digital zoom po yan. Pero ito lang yung favorite ko sa kanya. The most powerful thing about the camera is, I believe, the combination ng super macro mode and yung kanyang Aura Light Portrait 3.0. Kasi nga, now, pwede kang lumapit ng sobra. And with the help of the light, you will get these super nice macro shots na well-exposed, super detailed. Grabe naman yung detail. Nakita na yung alikabok sa mukha nung laruan. Finally, pwede ka na mag-close up and still get very detailed photos. Kasi ang problema, guys, kapag ka nagmamakro ka, na sobrang lapit mo sa subject, tinatakpan mismo ng camera o ng smartphone yung mismo subject, which leads to bad exposure. But this one, because of the Aura Light Portrait, thank you, Vivo. Isa pang nagusto ko dito is kanyang video. The video has this cinematic Zeiss video filter. Look at this shot. Grabe, sobrang cinematic niya, tingnan. May black bars pa sa sides. Tapos ang ganda ng kulay. Ang kulay talaga nagdala dito. And hindi po awkward yung background blur. Para naka-DSLR ka lang. And you even get stabilization. To. So pag tinurn on mo siya, mag-on din yung stabilization dito. Kaya lang 1080p 30 frames per second lang po siya. Now, in terms of the resolution, up to 4K 60 frames per second po yung kaya niya. Even the ultra wide angle video is 4K 60 FPS kaya po niya. Kaya lang wala pong EIS yun. If you want the EIS, kailangan mong bumaba sa 1080p 60 frames per second. And it even has standard and ultra stabilization at 1080p 60 frames per second. And this is the standard and the ultra stabilization side by side. And as you can see, mas okay talaga yung ultra stabilization, pero mas crop lang talaga siya. Yo, pwede ka na din mag 4K 60 frames per second sa selfie video. Wow! Oh my God, naka-inlove yung itsura ko dito. Wow, ang ganda ng color, white balancing. Black talaga yung t-shirt ko. Ito talaga yung tamang color nung aking background. And my voice sounds so nice. At 0.86x. Nice, hindi siya sobrang lapit sa mukha. Not so much in your face. Marami kang pwedeng ipakita sa background. Kaya lang, wala daw stabilization sa selfie video. Pero okay na, pagka swabe ka naman maglakad. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Pero ito ang hindi kasi alam ng lahat, si Vivo yung master sa low light photos and videos. And with the help of the night mode, ito po yung itsura nun. Ang tindi talaga ng image processing ni Vivo, especially the Vivo V30 Pro. I've actually seen some tech YouTubers mention na ang laki doon ng difference ng Vivo V30 na camera sa Vivo V30 Pro. Talagang pro na pro yung dating, even in low light, no? Accurate pa rin, hindi ganun noisy, at mas mabilis po yung kanyang night mode na shot compared po kay Vivo V30 dahil po sa processor yun. Mas mabilis po yung processing niya. Sa selfie naman guys, although wala po siyang Zeiss lens dito, it does have Zeiss bokeh. May biotar, may sonar, may planar, distagon, and pretty much everything that Zeiss has placed on the Vivo X series andito rin guys. At wala akong masabi sa selfie beautification talaga ni Vivo. Sobrang panalo mukhang celebrity ka, ang ganda na skin tone. I think dito na in love yung mga maraming buyers ng Vivo. Dito talaga sa beautification niya. Sobrang panalo. Sobrang nag-mature. Now, mas marami na pwedeng gawin sa kanya. Meron ka pa mga Zeiss filters right here, bokeh flares. It's simply everything you love about the Vivo camera na times 10 lang. And I feel that times 10 din yung binibigay niyang value para sa ating lahat. The price is, it's 34,999 pesos. 12,512 na po siya. By the way, kung namamalakas kanya, meron pang Vivo V30, non-pro version, 12,512, 27,999 pesos. 12,256 naman, 24,999. Now that's how you make a flagship device. I just feel that with all the features crammed into this device, plus sa kanya napakagandang processor, oo baka yung mga mid-range niya naka-processor niya at baka mas sulit pa daw. But no, kung may pera ka naman, you will never go wrong with the Vivo V30 Pro. It is worth every bit of its price. Tamang-tama lang ang dinidaman ni Vivo dito, especially yung kanya Zeiss optics is just top-notch. And feeling ko, baka pagka naging successful to, baka lang ilabas nila si Vivo X100 Pro. Guys, totoo yun na. Every time na pag nakikita ni Vivo or yung mga ibang company na mataas yung sales nung kanilang mga mid-range, baka pwede pa tayo mag-invest sa flagship talaga. Kasi right now guys, wala na pong Vivo X series sa Pilipinas. Well, since nung pandemic, wala na po. Last ko narinig is X80. Yes. X90, wala. X100, we're not sure. Hopefully mag-come back. Pero right now, in terms of the camera, the performance, per pricing, is my favorite smartphone sa high-end, mid-range segment. Na feeling ko sobrang matutuwa kayo at ma-impress sa kanya. If nagbabalak kang bibili sana ng iPhone and Samsung, you will be surprised. You will be impressed. And if you wanna see more videos just like this one or baka may sale, just follow and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any of my great content. Ako pala si Vince and you're watching Unbox Diaries. Woohoo!